Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janice. I am a school psychology practicum student in my final semester. I am so happy to be bringing this video to you guys. I have not done a sit-down video in a very long time. I decided to take a little break from the vlogs just because I felt like the vlogs were getting a little bit repetitive, so I wanted to take some time off from that and just do a sit-down video with you guys. And I think this is a very good informative video, so if you guys like that kind of stuff, stick around. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and let's get into the video. So you want to know whether or not to choose school psychology. It's a very big decision when you finally got your bachelor's degree or you're on your way to getting it and you're making decisions about whether or not you should, one, go to graduate school, or two, which program you should be going into, just like what's the difference. So this video, I'm going to give you the reasons why you should become a school psychologist. I have my phone out because I wrote my list of things on here and I don't want to forget it. The first reason why you should be a school psychologist: you like to write. Now, if you are not a person that enjoyed like story writing as a kid, essay writing, any kind of writing, I'm not saying not to become a school psychologist, but just think about it because it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of report writing. So if you're not a big fan of explaining yourself, giving rich details, it's going to be a struggle. But then there's some people who do become school psychologists and they just don't write long papers. But I just feel like when it comes to a student receiving services, you want to make sure you're, one, giving them the least restrictive services and support. You want to give the parents the best version report that you can offer. If you just give the parents, you know, 2 pages, it has a bunch of numbers on it that they don't understand, and you go, yes, your child has ADHD. And like, this is just, I'm not saying that people do it, but I'm not saying people don't do it. So if you don't like to write, you don't want to do this to parents and to families, and that was a big part in my choosing. I personally, I was on fan fiction. I loved to write as a kid growing up, and through college, through graduate school, I never have a problem with writing long papers as long as I start at a good time, as long as I start ahead of time. At the very basis, just that you like to write or you don't mind writing. Because if you really hate it, it could be very difficult for you in the future. The next reason you should become a school psychologist: you like to collaborate with others, whether it's teachers, agencies, parents, students. You like to work in a team, you like to work with other colleagues. It would be very hard for you to do this job on your own. And I've learned through my practicum year how much I feed off of my team and my team feeds off of me. I'm not saying like this is my team or my squad type of thing, but my team that I'm a part of with my supervisor and the social worker and the family worker and the teachers and the IEP teachers, we all work together to make this happen for the students. And if you don't like working with a team, it's going to be very hard. The third reason, this may seem a little obvious, but you like working with kids. If you like working with kids, it makes the job, it makes you have a meaningful connection to your job. And when I was choosing what I wanted to do, I always got along very well with kids, and I always found a passion for it. And you want to do something every day for the rest of your life, possibly, that you have a passion for, that you wake up every day and you're like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of the times it takes a long time to get to that decision or to get to that pathway. People have career changes at like 50, 60 years old. It happens, you do you, but if you know this early, if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to know, hey, this is what gets me, this is what makes me love my life and makes me want to get up every day and just help others and help yourself. Liking kids is a big part of the job because you work with kids most of the time. This degree that I'm in is anywhere from preschool through to college. Give or take, that's usually the age range for children anyway, but I'm just saying this is the age group that you would be working with. The next reason, you like to be organized. You are going to have so much fun doing this job if you love to be organized. I love a clean room, a clean space, clean body. You just, like, my space has to be clean in order for my head to be clean, and I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but if my room is a mess or my space is a mess, I can't function and I can't organize myself. So if you like to be organized and you like to be in a clean space and that's how you function, this is the perfect, hi, welcome, sit down, this is the perfect place for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're planning to become a school psychologist, no day is going to be the same. You can have a very slow day one day, and then the next day you have a bunch of reports to write, but there's a crisis. Something happens with a student, something happens with the school as a whole. You have to address it. You have to be the one to come forward and address a crisis and be able to handle a crisis. So, and I'm not saying that you're in fight or flight mode all the time, but when you're going in, you don't know what you're going into every day. So if that appeals to you, like it does to me, I don't like the idea of going into a job every day where I don't have to think, if that makes sense, and where I don't have to problem solve and work with others. This is a big reason why I chose to go into this field. The next reason, which is kind of two reasons. You like to do testing and you like to do counseling. So in the beginning, I almost chose to be part of a guidance counseling program, but I, at the last second, chose to switch to this field because of the testing. I didn't understand exactly what testing meant, if that makes sense. So the more I researched it, I was like, this seems so cool. I've never heard of this. And I've never even seen a school psychologist in any of my schools that I went to growing up. So I want to be that school psychologist that the school knows about, and I know students, and not that people like me, but like they know I exist. I didn't even know a school psychologist existed. That's how much, at least at my schools that I went to, they weren't emerging from their offices. And that's a big part of it, is you want the school community to know you're there. That's another thing, as part of, I guess, the collaboration. You want the students and the faculty to know, hey, my door is open. If you need me, I'm here for you. And then back to the testing, I just wanted to say, if you like testing students, in terms of social emotional testing, academic, achievement, intellectual, that's the kind of stuff that we tend to do. And you don't have to, even if you have a degree in school psychology, you don't have to go into a job that requires you to do testing. You could go into a job that just requires you to do counseling if you favor counseling more. But the more experience that you get through your practicum and your internship, I feel like, for me at least, I find it a healthier balance to do both testing and counseling. Unfortunately, I haven't been doing any testing. Now, as part of the testing, if you like to adapt to certain conditions during testing, you're golden. So if you are that person that when you're testing a kid, they need to be sitting down, you need to be sitting down, you're sitting at an angle, and you're just going back and forth with them, that may be very hard for you, and I'm going to tell you why. There are many times where students don't want to sit down, or they can't sit down, and you have to kind of follow them around the room and get your answers. So, and that's what I love, is that no one student is the same as well, and you have to bend a little to make sure that the student is answering the questions, but they're comfortable at the same time. So I don't mind walking around the room as long as like Johnny is going, yep, 18, 14, I'm like, okay, we're getting it done. That is the best thing, is being able to get your test results in, because then you may have the student having a bad day and you're not going to get any answers. You may not even be able to talk to that student for that day. Like I said, referring back to that other reason, no one day is going to be the same. Also, a part of the organization reason, you like to plan. If you like to plan, having a planner, whether it's digital or a regular planner, that is going to help you with all of your meetings, maintaining your reports, because when an IEP, an initial hits, you have 90 days to get that process done. And in order to do that, you have to stay on top of your stuff. I originally just started with a regular planner where I wrote stuff in. And then throughout the year, I noticed that I did let some things still slip through the cracks because I wasn't checking my calendar. So every week I sit down on Sundays at my job and I fill out everything I have to do for the week. I put everything into my iCalendar with a reminder of a day before, so that way I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening. Okay, that's fine. And I'm just, not that I'm just a practicum student, but I'm a practicum student and I still need to be on top of my things like that. The workload for practicum students, you do get a very good experience as a practicum student, and I'm so excited for my internship to be working full-time. You have no idea how excited I am, and I'm going to be in the building, so I'm just, I don't even know where this came from, but so excited. But I'm also so grateful for this experience that I've had the past year. I am actually at about 70 hours right now. I'm getting close to 100, which is the requirement for my program. And it'll just be, I don't know, it's just surreal. I can't believe we're here. We're almost there. The last reason to become a school psychologist: you make decisions that are in the benefit for the best support of the child. What I mean by that is that you are choosing the least restrictive environment, and you're doing this so that way the students are getting not only the best support that they need, but they're also able to be students, they're able to be kids. And you like making sound decisions where you take every factor in that child's life into account before you make a decision, and you consult with your team, you consult with your teachers, you find out where this student is at and what everyone believes that this student needs, and then you collaborate. Like in your head, you're sitting there like, this person said this person said this, okay, but that person said that. Where does that, what can we do with that? Like I said, this is a big problem solving job, and you need to be able to be flexible when making those decisions. It's not so much as this kid is just a number or this kid is just one and so. Yes, there's a lot of students on your caseload. Yes, there's a lot of students in the school building as a whole, but you're here to make good decisions for this child that are going to help them succeed. That's just the best part of the job. Okay guys, we've reached the end of the video for today. I hope you guys like this kind of sit down video. Let me know if you like to see more content like this. I'm going to be getting back into the vlogs, most likely for next week, but perhaps the week after I'll try to mix it up and have a sit down video again. But if you're new here, again, thank you. Welcome to my page. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you're looking into grad school programs, if you're looking into psychology, I hope this helped. I have noticed that there are a good amount, not nearly enough school psychologists or school psychology graduate students or anyone in this field. There's not enough of us, but the ones that are on, I literally watch all of them, first of all. And whenever I see a new person, I'm like, hello, like I get so excited. So I'm so glad if you saw this video, you came across this video and found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next Saturday in my next video. Have a good week, guys. Bye.